ELPA21 standards work by providing a framework for assessing and supporting English language development in students who are ELLs. Language domains. ELPA21 standards assess students' abilities in 4 key language domains: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. These domains reflect the essential skills students need to communicate effectively in English. Proficiency levels. Each standard is organized into different proficiency levels, ranging from beginner 1 to advanced 5. This allows teachers to assess where students are in their English language development and identify their next steps. Performance descriptors. The standards include performance descriptors for each language domain at each proficiency level. These descriptors outline what a student at a particular level should be able to do in terms of language skills. Grade level expectations. ELPA21 standards are designed to align with students' grade level academic content. This ensures that language development occurs in the context of grade-appropriate content and helps English learners access the curriculum. Instructional guidance. The standards provide guidance to teachers on how to support English learners in developing their language skills. This might include strategies like scaffolding instruction, using visual aids, and providing targeted practice. Assessment. ELPA21 standards guide the assessment of students' English language proficiency. Assessments based on the standards provide information about students' progress in each domain, which can inform instruction and support targeted interventions.
When looking at the standards, it is important to remember a few key items. Each standard is for a specific grade level or grade band. According to the ELPA21 Standards Guidebook, the 10 ELP standards highlight a strategic set of language functions and language forms. Language functions are described as the things students do with language to accomplish content-specific tasks, and language forms are described as the vocabulary, grammar, and discourse specific to a particular content area or discipline. When looking at the standards, the list may seem daunting, but it is broken down in a fairly simple and organized manner. Standards 1 through 7 involve the language necessary for ELLs to engage in the central content-specific practices associated with ELA and literacy, mathematics, and science. They begin with a focus on extraction of meaning and then progress to engagement in these practices. Standards 8 through 10 hone in on some of the more micro-level linguistic features that are undoubtedly important to focus on, but only in the service of the other 7 standards. Looking at first grade 1.3, we see that an ELL can speak and write about grade-appropriate complex literary and informational texts and topics. A student may be level 5 in oral language and a level 1 in written language. This standard focuses on the output only, but will need to be adapted to meet the need for this student. This is where the scores and scaffolds on the ILP will be useful. Knowledge of the student will help you and the student meet the learning zone for the student. A written expectation for level 1 would be communicate simple information or feelings. This may be easy for oral presentation, but with writing, this could be a lengthy assignment. Orally, the student may be able to quickly respond with multiple sentences, so the oral expectation would come from the level 5 box, including a few descriptive details. Deliver oral presentations about a variety of texts, topics, experiences, or events. This is the same standard for every student, just adapted to the capabilities that they have at this point. Remember, learning is a spectrum. The students will enter the year and leave your class on completely different levels. This begins with the data we have and should be adaptive throughout the year by updated scores from the ESL department or teacher observation. If you feel a student is capable of more, push to see if they are flourishing with more rigorous work. Please reach out to your ESL department for any assistance with the student's abilities.